Good afternoon, everyone. This is Maria.
This is Tim.
Today is Tuesday, March the 13th, 2018. Welcome to our daily recap.
Another crazy day in the markets. A lot of alerts, a lot of flows, low floats still moving around. Jumping right into it. So that's what you guys want us to do. SPHX, top gainer today, Maria. We alerted $1.60. It went to 242. And I think they had news as well. The alert.
Yeah, it was a really nice alert. There was news associated with that. SPHX announced that they'd entered into a definitive purchase agreement to acquire 100% ownership of DatChat, which is a privately held personal privacy platform focused on encrypted communication, internet security, and digital rights management. In addition to the acquisition, it says SPHX is further solidifying its holistic move into this sector by establishing Ether Mining Company as a subsidiary of SPHX. The purpose of the subsidiary is to mine the cryptocurrency Ether. Okay, Ether is a type of crypto token, which we all know, Ethereum. Okay, there we go. So that is the news. They are acquiring a
So it's
company, and it's a blockchain
another
play.
another blockchain play. I think
Yep.
everybody's getting into blockchain these days. Another one we've talked a lot about the last couple of weeks. It keeps coming back. ZSAN, ZSAN, which we also had monster alert on it this morning. 1435 hit a high of 1843. So that was a $4 move. Did they have news as well?
Let me look and see. Yeah, they had ER, right? Yesterday morning, it looks like. But let me look at the 5-day on ZSAN. This is a 5-day. So yesterday morning, they moved up a little bit. They actually sold off after the ER. Found support right around here. Actually opened up lower, so broke that support level, made a move up, and closing back at I'll call it a lighter level of support. It could, potentially it could make a move. I would definitely still stay careful with it, but definitely a nice day here.
Definitely stay careful with it, but I don't think it's the last time we discuss it for some reason.
I agree.
Keeps coming back.
Agree.
Yesterday we had an alert on BXC. Yesterday it was our top gainer. So you might want to pull up a couple day chart on this thing. Incredible alert yesterday. We called it the perfect alert, and the continuation off that thing was insane. That was an ER play yesterday. Just a solid 2-day run. Look at that.
So here's today's chart. I'll pull up the week here in just a moment. But here's today's chart. Wow, alerted at 30:10. Ran up is that 34:51 after hours? Wow.
Yeah, it
That's
hit a
really
high of
nice alert.
35.63. But look at the 2-day on that. I mean, that's incredible.
Wow. Wow, what a run. That is
Yeah, look
really
at that.
pretty.
Pop,
I'm gonna look
consolidate,
at it
pop,
here.
consolidate. Yeah.
Jeez. Wow. So end of last year, this was a $10 stock, $10 stock, huh?
Yeah.
Popped up. Very nice.
That's a nice 2 days on that one.
What was their news yesterday?
It was ER.
Oh,
It was ER play.
no, they were agreeing. They agreed to buy Cedar Creek. There was merger news. Strategic merger agreement to acquire Cedar Creek. That's what it was. That came out yesterday
Okay.
morning.
Sure. Wow.
Very nice.
Very nice. Great 2-day run. You know, one we forgot to talk about yesterday that we've been talking about the last 2 Sundays and all of last week, but for some reason missed it yesterday. ECYT. Pull up a couple week chart on that. Show today, but look at the couple weeks on this thing.
Another really nice day. Just continuing to make its way up.
And if we'd have realized this
there
had
was
options a couple of weeks ago, we'd be retired.
So there were two companies yesterday. I know, right? That's the other part is I didn't realize it had options until like, I don't know, towards the end of today. I had no idea. So yesterday there were two news items with it. Tiger Global reported a 5.8 passive stake, and then Venrock Healthcare Capital Partners 2 reported an 8.9 passive stake. So let's look at the week on it.
I look at the 2 weeks on this thing. We've been talking about it and talking about it.
Geez, look at that. Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
that's
just so
insane.
nice, right? Just stairs step, make its way up, consolidate, a little bump up, consolidate, little
I
bump
mean,
up.
it
Just
doesn't get any prettier than ECYT.
I agree.
Um,
I like this one. I want to keep an eye on it, especially now that I know they
definitely
have
keep an eye on
options.
that. Well, and not only that, but you got between two stakes, 13%, a little over 13% between those companies that
Right.
announced stakes in it. One we had talked about yesterday, PTI, and I said on here like 3 times last night. I'm like, definitely, and I even closed with it. Watch PTI, watch PTI, because the volume on it was sick. The after hours move in the volume. A lot of times you get a big move, you don't see a lot of volume, or you might see a lot of volume, not a big move. It had both last night. It was just incredible. Good news. Good day on that. Still on watch. I mean, it did exactly what I thought today. It was just going to pop. I didn't make any predictions after that, but it did everything. We was talking about the levels to watch last night. I believe it was about $6.30 was where it
Yeah.
needed to break, which it did, and I believe it probably came back down around that area. But PTI, that was gorgeous.
Very nice. So we have this right here, right there. Probably run into a little bit of resistance around that 660, 665. Um, if it can clear through there, you might have a little bit more space for it to go. I still like it.
I
I
like
don't know
that
if
one.
you guys,
Definitely keeping an eye on it.
yeah, absolutely. I don't know if everyone can really see this volume area. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. I don't know if that's enough for you guys to see it. I hope it is. You see that volume died off right ahead of that pop, or right when
Started
it
coming
popped.
back.
You see that volume starting to come back in. Yeah, there was some selling, but you still had buyers into the close. So definitely one to keep an eye on.
A little cheap one today I had noticed, and somebody had mentioned to me too. RAS, it was up like 60% or so on, I don't know, 15, 16 million shares, RAS. And we get asked about those a lot. They're unpredictable. It's something I'll keep an eye on. It's hard to make a prediction on RAS or anything that cheap. It's hard to predict anything in life. What kind of news did they have?
That's actually a nice run. 25 cents up to about 45, above 45. There was some
Yeah.
news this morning. Let's see. They announced first quarter 2018 preferred dividend status of common dividends and other items. So they declared first quarter 2018 cash dividend of 0.484375 per share on the Series A cumulative redeemable preferred shares. Okay, so they had some dividend information come out.
Okay. Another one. I know a couple of people played with FTEK, Fuel Tech. It's kind of interesting. Cheaper stock, but I mean, nice move, solid move.
And they had ER yesterday, is that correct? It looks like.
Quarter results. Yep. Yesterday after the bell, so that's what that ran on.
Let's see what a week looks like on it. Yeah, nice move.
I like the way it came down and came back and crossed those highs,
It did.
that early high.
Found that support above. Yesterday's definitely it held the gains fair like really well. When a stock like this comes or opens up, and that first candle, that in the first 15 minutes you have this long candle. The worry is that it's going to give it all back and then just continue down, right? Which it did give some of it back, but look at where it found that support. It found support well above yesterday's close and just kind of cranked up the rest of the day. Closed strong.
Not bad.
Not bad at
Something
all.
to keep an eye on for sure. Another one, TROV. That one, let's see. Decent day. I mean, it's again cheap, but I mean something to watch. They're fun to watch. I don't play these very often.
Yes,
I'll play a PTI and an ECYT occasionally as these hands. These hands make me nervous, and no, I'm not knocking it at all. It just requires more sitting there on pins and needles than I like to do. This is a pretty day on TROV.
it is a pretty day, and I could not find any news associated with it. I don't know if there's any news out there. I would feel better about it if there was some news to support the move. So if you are in, please stay careful. Just stay careful.
Be
That's all.
careful.
Put
Yeah.
a stop in.
But
Make sure you protect your profits. That's all.
UPL, that one, somebody had sent me a DM about, and I had looked at it, and I didn't know a whole lot about really what to tell them, but
Ultra
a lot of
Petro.
volume. Yeah, a lot of volume with it.
This was earnings yesterday, and I'm getting the company's profile pulled up. They are an independent oil and gas company engaging in the acquisition, exploration, development, operation, and production of oil and natural gas properties. The principal business activities are developing its natural gas reserves in the Green River Basin of southwest Wyoming and some other areas. They own approximately 8,000 net acres in Utah. Was founded in 1979 and headquartered in Houston. So earnings. This was an earnings. I'm going to say beat probably and raise. So an oil play.
Nice looking
Oil
chart
and
on
gas.
that. Yeah, nice looking chart on that one too. NTNX, we keep talking about this one, and this one doesn't really like to stop here lately. I mean, even today, it was one of those green ones on a red day. Yeah.
Get the weekly pulled up. So NTNX, you have to be willing to kind of sit through the chop, right? So if you're able to sit through the chop and just kind of wait a little bit on it, you'll see, where's my 5-day? You'll see that it is just trending up. Now, what I want to watch for here, because if you see, we have this nice uptrend, and today is one of the first days in a few days where we're seeing a little bit more flatness, not as much of an uptrend. I would have wanted to see this continue a little bit, even just a little bit higher, maybe to here. But it looks like we have a little bit of consolidation through here, at least on the weekly. So I really want to see what it's going to do. I want to see if it's just going to stay sideways for a day or two and then try to make the next leg up, or if it's going to come back down and let us potentially enter.
I would actually take if I get that one back at the right price, that's one definitely on the buy list. But I mean, that Go Bulls, yeah. I mean, that's a gorgeous few days on that one. One of our favorite companies, Maria, I know it's one of in my top 5. I know you really like the company too. ABBV, they present tomorrow, and I think they had news today as well. And they present tomorrow, so that's one to keep an eye on in the morning.
ABBV, I love this stock. I love this company. They reported positive, what was it, P3 data on one of their drugs met their primary endpoint. And I believe that this is what they will be presenting tomorrow at the Cohen Healthcare Conference. So this was actually, there it is. This is the article I was looking for that I'd read earlier. They announced positive top-line results from the second phase 3 study evaluating investigational, whatever the name of the drug is, because I will mispronounce it, in women with uterine fibroids. Sorry, guys.
I say those. AMD.
But yes.
That was the AMD. The last week has had the craziest options I've ever seen in AMD, and probably just one of the craziest. It's all puts one day. People are writing, people are selling. Then the next day it's all calls, and people are writing, and people are selling, and it's been all over the map. And then today we get news that I think they're going to zero.
So let's talk a little bit about this news that came out. Um, this company, CTS Labs, they came out and said that there was a problem with the AMD processors. I don't know the specifics of it. Here's what the article says. It says here, a CTS Lab security audit revealed multiple critical security vulnerabilities in manufacturer backdoors in AMD's latest EPYC, Ryzen Pro, and Ryzen mobile processors. So that, number one, that was a little bit fishy because, most of the time companies like AMD and Intel and stuff like that, they're going to already start working on that fix before they release this kind of news. On top of that, the news came not from AMD, from CTS Labs. And then we have this Viceroy Research, right? Viceroy Research comes, can I make this bigger so you guys can see it? I hope you guys can see this. What kind of crap is this? We believe AMD is worth zero and will have no choice but to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in order to effectively deal with the repercussions of recent discoveries. Seriously?
Right. And I've never even heard of Viceroy Research. And somebody had mentioned it was like Viceroy Research at gmail.com or something.
Yeah, we had a member try to dig into who Viceroy Research was. Tim, you hadn't heard of him. I had never heard of him. Pete had never heard of him. There was a couple other people in the room that had never heard of Viceroy Research. So one of our members actually tried to dig up some info on them and found out that their email address is actually a Gmail address. So, I mean, if you are a firm that is issuing ratings, I hope that you don't have a Gmail address, because that does not make me feel very warm and fuzzy at all in any way, shape, or form.
Right. I would expect it to be Maria Research at mariaresearch.com, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Like if Goldman Sachs is issuing a rating, I hope that their email address is not, Goldman Sachs ratings at gmail.com. I would hope it's like something like ratings at goldmansachs.com.
Bad motherfucker at goldmansachs.com.
Exactly.
I get it. You
Yes,
understand?
we saw AMD take this right here. I'll be honest, I scalped AMD. I caught a really small scalp. It was like $100, nothing big. Really, really small scalp. But I picked it up off this bottom, close to this bottom, because the news just seemed really suspect to me. I was explaining what I was thinking at the time of the trade. So at the time of the trade, I was, I didn't want to completely discount it, but I wanted to make the play, because in my mind I was like, this is bullshit. I mean, bottom line, I was like, I don't know what this news is, but it doesn't sound right. And later on in the day, AMD did come out and say, because that was the other part of it, is that AMD had not said anything in response. So for most of the day, like, it dropped and then it just started to go up. I think it crossed 12 at one point. High day was above 12. And AMD at 3 p.m. finally released a message or a statement. And they said, we have just received a report from a company called CTS Labs claiming there are potential security vulnerabilities related to certain of our processors. We are actively investigating and analyzing its findings. This company was previously unknown to AMD, and we find it unusual for a security firm to publish its research to the press without providing a reasonable amount of time for the company to investigate and address its findings. So AMD is trying to find out what's going on and why this company is issuing a $0 rating.
Right. And here's the thing: potential security vulnerabilities, strike gold and oil, probably won't happen, but it's potential, right? I mean, there's potential anywhere for anything to happen. Apple could potentially, go to zero. Not going to happen. So yeah, this whole thing was just suspect. So anyway, congrats, bulls that didn't panic and maybe caught that dip. So yeah.
So that was
another
the story
day in the
with
market.
AMD.
Yeah. Microsoft, we got out of our, we've been swinging for about 3 weeks, April 100s. Got out of those today. Almost at the high, not quite, but, we got out. It was a nice run. We will be looking to enter Microsoft again, though, because, that was a nasty dip. And here's the thing, I know people don't like to hear the words, dips or, let them pull back, but you can't just keep buying stuff at the top, right? You need some days like this. If you want to enter Microsoft, then you can start nitpicking. Hopefully it drops another couple bucks. I'll definitely be all in. This is our third or fourth trade on Microsoft in like the last 5 weeks that we've got on dips that we've sold, reasonably well. So it's another one we'll keep an eye on for a reentry. Nice trade. It was 85% or something on it. So not too bad. Boeing, we did pick up about 20 or 30 minutes before the close. We got 350s for April 20th. We thought we were slick, and it did jump up like $1, a little over $1 after we bought them, and we were actually green in those contracts. The close, though, it's a little hairy. A lot of things after hours not doing so well. Intel was another one we bought right at the 20 minutes before the close, and we've seen some sweeps start to come in. Maria, actually, you saw those sweeps. Good flow on Intel today.
Let me pull that up real quick. There was a lot of really good flow on Intel.
So we actually followed these. Well, the ones we bought were 50s for April 20th, and then you bought this flow here, these 53s, those above the ask started coming in not about 15, 20 minutes before the close, so I know you got in those as well.
I did. I picked up some of the 53s for next week. I like Intel. I have April's and I have next week.
Yeah, so this one I'm keeping an eye on because I didn't see any reason for it to drop that couple of dollars just because the market had a little elbow scrape. So I like that one. MU. So what a day. Incredible run yesterday. Incredible run again today. Again, we thought we were cute right there before the close. We got in 2 cents off the low on those 62s for next week. We did this in a hurry. Normally we'd have bought 60s, maybe even 61s. So we bought the 62s. It was in a little bit of a hurry. And you know what? We looked like geniuses for about 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes. Maria, we were probably the smartest people I'd ever met, right? We just scored on Boeing, Intel, and MU. So we had the Warren Buffett syndrome going. And then, sure enough, after hours, it sells off again. It's coming back. It's coming back. But yeah, but we caught that dip.
But look at that. After hours, it's above our buy. It's above where we bought.
Yeah, it is. But we look like geniuses, though, right? For a while. So hopefully MU's good to us tomorrow. Good luck, Bulls there. So yeah, we got cute on Intel, Boeing, and MU right there in the last 20 minutes for some swings. But the good news is, other than MU, we've got some time on everything, so that's good. Another one we bought this morning, MRK. We bought early this morning. We've seen some activity come in MRK. Market hadn't been open too long. That above the ask came in right there, that sweep for 714,000. Yeah, there it is. We've seen that sweep come in, and right behind it, a nice block. So boom, we bought right then on the spot for a couple bucks. It had good flow the rest of the day.
Yeah, it did. It did. And it didn't do much today, but Mark is one of those where sometimes you just got to sit in it, and then all of a sudden it'll pop. Yeah. Yeah,
we've got till May. The Nigerians, I've seen they talked about it on the halftime show. So we caught that one early. Glad to see that other people caught it too. So yeah, we followed that above the ask sweep because that was just gorgeous. Another one we got in today on ER, we got a little later in the day, was DSW. We bought 20s for April $20, a little bit in the money. They had ER this morning. and looks like they may try to head to that 52-week high. We played this a while back off some flow and had a really good trade off of it. So when Wyatt brought that up today, that hey, did anybody notice DFW? I hadn't noticed it. I hadn't paid any attention to it today at all. But yeah, that one we are also swinging.
So here's a yearly on DSW. We might run into some potential resistance in the low 22s. But if we can get above, I'm going to say probably 22, 25 or so, I think that we should at least test that 52.
Yeah, so I like that one. And here's the thing too, Maria. When the market sold off today and everything else was kind of going down, this one hung in there. I think it closed right under the high of day, so not a bad close.
Not a bad close at all.
DSW.
So there's a
keep an eye
high.
on that one. Yeah. Keep an eye on that one. J&J we got into early this morning too. That was another one. Now we bought out till I think. Let me go look. Hold on. What did we buy on J&J? And I can tell you. That was one of the first ones this morning. April. Yeah, we got April on that one. So J&J we're going to be keeping an eye on as well. And it tried. I mean, it had a good day, but it was one that, did sell off of the market a little bit at the end of the day. Still a green day on it. And we've got plenty of time on our contracts. Another one, Maria, I know you was talking to me about was FedEx.
FedEx. So let me get FedEx pulled up. FedEx is one that we were keeping an eye on. I want to point out the flow. So we had one block, 312,000 on the ask, which yes, blocks are normally tied to stock, but I like the look of that block. 250s for April and then followed by 260s. Let me get the chart pulled up. What a day. Look at that. And actually, let me pull it up over here so it's easier to see. Man.
They've got ER in a week too. Yeah, so I mean, well off the 52-week high, which was back on June 18th, 274.66. This could run into ER. I know Pete picked some up. I believe it was last week. I'm pretty sure it was last week.
Yeah,
that Pete got in. And yeah, I wish I would have got in then. But yeah, FedEx, definitely watching the ER. That thing could have some room. I mean, it closed well off the highs today, but a lot of things did. So that one, we might get a little shot to pick up going into ER, Maria, actually.
I agree. I want to look at it on a week. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, I still like it. Even with that sell-off, right, it bounced right at support, and actually, worked its way up a little bit. So I still like it a lot. It's one that I will, I'm not holding contracts on it right now, but I will, if I can catch a little bit of a dip, I'll probably go ahead and enter. At least to play the ramp up to ER. I won't hold through ER. I don't like holding through ER, but I will at least try to play that ramp up to ER.
Vega expansion, reverse decay. Another one I'm keeping an eye on. I would like, that's on the buy list. If we get a better pullback than what I got today, AMAT. So I love AMAT long term. No need to pull up a chart on that one. It's just, one I'm watching. Still good flow. I'm glad you actually did pull that up. Good flow still coming into AMAT. NVIDIA hit all-time high today. I know you and Vishal are swinging into that conference unless y'all sold it today.
I'm still holding my Aprils. I don't know if he sold his Aprils or not. I'm still holding them. But it's NVIDIA, and I'm okay with NVIDIA doing what it did today. That's totally okay. I actually did scalp puts, so I'm actually still positive on NVIDIA overall.
That's good.
From when I bought those.
Apple all-time high today. Unfortunately, they sold off. And I guess Tim Cook went to the White House today, and I don't think anybody really knows what's going on there. But that one, back under 180, I'm gonna start looking at that. Yeah,
I like Apple under 180.
Yeah,
I like it under 180.
I do too. So that's something that's on the buy list. Let's see.
And let me rephrase. I like an entry under 180, but I want to see Apple hold above 180, if that makes sense.
It makes sense to me. But I know, I know how you trade and what you think anyway. So yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you. Bud had some action today. BUD, Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Everybody likes a good Bud. Seen some sweeps coming in that one early, and then I seen some news on the fly about a, I don't know, bullish five-way or something.
That was corrected.
Anyway, it was corrected. Okay. Yeah, but some definite action there. It was a solid opening.
I actually bought the September one. Let me make sure what I bought. The September, I believe they were 130s. What were they? Yep, I bought September 130s. Closed red on the position. That's okay. These are out to September. And I like the company. I think that there's room for it to move up. So we'll see what happens with it. If it breaks major support, I'll let it go. But I'm gonna hold on for just a little while.
Netflix, I'm also eyeing that one for a. Andrew Left said yesterday, and I kind of thought the guy was out of juice, but I think he got lucky today just on the market sentiment in general. People were selling off some high flyers.
Right.
If he's right and Netflix does go back to that 300, I'm a buyer.
I agree.
You know,
But you know what's really interesting? Look at these two, this block and this sweep that came through. Both on the ask out to January 2019, $510 strikes, paying $8 for a piece for those contracts.
geez,
510 on Netflix. And yes, it
that
did, it came down after hours, but it's back up to about 314 and change, I believe. Right? Let me double check.
So I'm watching that one for an entry for sure. So Andrew may have did us all a favor. Hey, listen, and I don't think he said it's a bad company. I think he just said it ran too much too fast. But I didn't watch the interview. That's what he has said in the past about some other ones. Autodesk is on the buy list.
So only one sweep today, which was a put, out to July, 130 put. It's trading at 136. This came in on the ask. I want to look at it on a little bit of a longer time frame. If we go out, let's do a week first. It is still holding. Like even if you look after hours today, still just holding. And
I like it down here.
I do. I like it a lot. I want to see what it does tomorrow. I think that if we get a little bit of momentum going into tech, this could at least be a really good scalp.
I agree. I like Autodesk, especially, if we get Baba. We did have some people. I know John and a couple more took today's dip and bought some 190s for next month. Baba, God, I love Baba. We've talked about it a million times. Just undervalued, unless I'm overlooking something.
No, you're not. I like it. I like it a lot.
That's one I wish we would probably. Well, actually, it's lower now than it was at the close. Another couple bucks on that one, and I'm going to have to take a shot at Baba too.
I agree.
Amazon. How did that one hold today? You know what? I haven't even looked at Amazon. Been too busy
Let me get
with
Amazon.
much other stuff.
I actually played Amazon. I was able to scalp it. I didn't think I was going to get out of those calls green. I ended up getting out green, so I was happy. Not a huge amount, but it was enough that I got out green. Here's the daily, gorgeous range, right? From if you were to, get in at this low or close to the low, 1578, ran up to 1603, just on that one leg. Beautiful range there. If we look a little bit further out to a 5-day, yes, it sold off. It came down after hours. But if we count the wicks, today, we've technically filled this gap over here, right? It looks like it's filled for the most part. I'm going to count the wicks, and even here, just a bounce right there off of support, previous resistance ish, close enough, bouncing.
I like
So
that.
I'm curious to
Actually,
see what happens to it tomorrow.
yeah, that could be a good trade in either direction. It had plenty of range up or down. I know a couple of people had puts earlier today. I don't know if they, well, you went long. I don't know if anybody else, how they played it. I knew there were some people shorting it this morning. That's interesting. I
Yeah.
like where it stopped.
Yeah, if you cut
I
that
like that.
bucket short, 1614 down to 1578-ish.
Jeez, that's a monster short. And anybody's, I don't care who
Yeah.
you are. Xerox, XRX, you had sent me a note on this morning, and I didn't look at it for a while after you sent it, but I did want to look at XRX.
So let's look at first the news, or the little options news that came out on it. There were call buyers as shares see relative strength. The stock was up $1.60 on increasing volume of 2.6 million shares. There were 1.9K April 31 calls that changed hands, and that total volume is three times the daily average at 4.7K calls and 310 puts. Bullish flow comes a week after Xerox sent a letter noting the benefits of its combination with Fuji. Activist investors voiced opposition to the combination in late February. So there could be some news going into it, or coming up, I should say, that we may not have all the details on. Let me pull up the day. Gorgeous day.
It's a pretty
I'm
day.
actually kind of mad
Pretty day.
I ignored it. And this is one that Tech Money in the room, he asked me about it. Jeez. It was either I think it was late last week. He mentioned Xerox back then. Man, I
Well,
wish I'd bought some calls then.
that was a gorgeous day. KO. You also, earlier today, we had briefly talked about KO.
So KO had a bunch of these. Let me actually get the whites put back in. Look at all of these, all on the ask. Only one block. There's one put in there, but one block. Everything else all the rest were sweeps. 420, 45, and 46 calls.
I see some
And
above the ask too. Yeah.
yeah, 1.7 times expected, and implied volatility increasing over 1 point to 14.77%. Put call ratio is 0.22. Earnings are on April 24th.
So a little over a month away. Interesting.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Yeah, today I had seen on the fly, I think it was 20.4 million options traded, which was 4% below average. Didn't feel below average today, but I guess it was 4% down for the day. You know what? Real quick, do you mind pulling up the upgrades, downgrades after hours? Yesterday we had a flurry of shit.
Sure.
And a lot of those ran that we had brought up yesterday too. So retail, there was that retail. I forget who the analyst was at this point. Yesterday we had talked about it, but yeah, it
Credit
was just a
Suisse.
flurry. Credit
Credit.
Suisse,
Yeah.
and yeah, a lot of those had a good day actually. So let's see today.
MUFG raised the price target on Twilio TWLO from 34 to 43.
That's had a nice
First
run lately. Okay.
Hawaiian. First Hawaiian upgraded to outperform. Let's see. I'm trying to look for names that I'm familiar with. When Resorts initiated with a market perform at Telsey. Boyd Gaming, I like that one too. Initiated at a market perform. Well, they did a lot of market performs, huh?
He
Red
did.
Rock.
Wow. So yesterday's Credit Suisse and today it's Telsey Advisory. So yeah,
Right.
this has been interesting after hours just to watch these. But that's one of the cool things we have is the upgrades, downgrades, and it's live 24/7. If somebody puts one out at midnight tonight, we're going to see it, right? So that's cool.
Exactly.
Uh, yeah. Oh, there's a canner. I think I seen when you was showing.
Oops.
So anyway, so it looks like they did some. Yesterday was retail. Looks like there's some casino stocks today.
Casinos and resorts. It looks like Red Rock's on there, El Dorado Resorts,
Yeah.
Macquarie.
Huh.
There's that Cantor. R1 RCM initiated with an overweight at Cantor.
Okay. And there's a couple McGuire there. So yeah, Baird just hit somebody. So there'll be a lot of upgrades tomorrow to keep our eyes on as well. Earnings after
Absolutely.
hours or earnings tomorrow, Maria. Have you got that list? I do not
I
have it.
do. Pre-market, we have Signet Jewelers. We have Express, the clothing store. Vera Bradley, VRA, releases in the morning. After hours, we have NVAX, C-Trip, Taco, Tailored Brands, TLRD, DDD, 3D Systems. I like that stock. I like that one a lot, and I think that that could be interesting to watch. And
Absolutely.
WSM, Williams Sonoma. So a
I
couple
see
of ETFs
Williams
to keep an
Sonoma
eye on.
go. Oh, excuse me. Super green to red, like $5 up and then $5
Yeah,
up after hours, $5 down pre-market. That one's always interesting. C-Trip always has some range as well. DDD definitely, and I know it's the Charlotte Tech Money one that brought that up too recently too. So I know we got some people eyeing that one. I don't know if they're already in or not, but yeah, definitely we want to watch DDD.
for sure.
After hours scanner. Was there anything on the after hours today before we leave?
This RFIL,
Um,
I don't know why I feel like that ticker is familiar. Um, let's look
light
at it.
volume.
Really light volume, nice move, but really, I mean, that volume's kind of light for me. My size made an appearance on there. PRKR, blast from the past. OREX
Yep.
on there.
I got a fight
PetQ.
on StockTwits about PRKR. It was like $3 or $4 at one point. It had this big jump over. I don't know, it was arguing with Qualcomm or something. I don't remember. And I'm like, man, I don't see it holding these gains, and I'm a basher. I'm short. No, man, I'm just a realist. That was a couple of bucks back. So, and I didn't short the stock. I was just didn't see any reason to buy it at that point in time, right?
Right.
Um,
It's a good thing you
so
didn't.
Mara, I see that on the after hour scanner. That one had a good day yesterday. Let me click that real quick.
Didn't do so
I
well
know that was.
today.
Let's see. No, but actually, for Mara and some of the ways I've seen some of these move, it's not the end of the world. Oh man, ears is getting hit after hours. HT, not much volume on HT though. Actually, light volume across the board, other than Orex, but it's 32 cents. So it's really just light volume across the board in after hours today, as
I
far as
wonder
what
what's
we're
going
showing
on
on the
with
scanner.
what's going on with VRX. They actually had notable spreads. They had some options news this morning. And let's see, VRX CEO acquires 30,000 common shares. So he bought some stock in the company. Let me make this chart bigger. It's moving a little bit after hours, not on heavy volume or anything like that. I think it was 400,000 shares or so. VRX, 341,000 shares. So, it might get a little pop tomorrow. I would be careful with it. I like trading VRX. It can be fun, but it's not. I mean, it's one you have to stay on top of.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, tomorrow we'll see how everything opens. We'll, we bought some positions today. We'll see how everything goes. Let me get a quick look at the Qs after hours, just for shits and gigs, before we shut it off.
Here's what we have right here. Hit a low of 171, bounced back up to, or 171.18, bounced up to about 171.67 or 68, working its way back down a little, 171.49. Was there any news that came out after hours?
I think it's just this whole Trump tariff thing, because
Gotcha.
Boeing and everybody started getting hit. And they were talking about on CNBC after hours, just with the market, hey, when the markets are this high, everybody's looking for a reason everybody's jittery. It's all like we're all excited, but we're jittery, right? So
Exactly.
it's just part of it. So I don't know, somebody burped and, they had tacos for lunch and onions. So the market goes down. I mean, it's all it takes at this point.
Right.
But hey, dips, are buying opportunities. So, and, also for people like us that long, short, we don't really carry the direction it goes. We're buy traders. So it's just, long, short, whatever. It's all good.
I
So
agree.
We'll see how it opens. Got some things to keep an eye on. Maria, that's all I had.
Let's see. So again, I think tomorrow will be interesting. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We have retail sales in the morning, retail sales ex autos in the morning. Producer price index comes out at 8:30 in the morning. 10 a.m. we have business inventory. So we do have some data coming out tomorrow to be aware of. But other than that, that's all I had. Stay green, everyone. I hope you have a great night.
Ooh,
Take
subscribe
care.
to our channel.
Oh, yes.
Subscribe to our channel. We have also videos about all kinds of things, psychology, why your dog died, everything. So check out the videos. That's it. I'll see everybody tomorrow.
All right. Have a good night. Take care. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Maria. Bye.
Thanks, Jen. Bye.